What's up, everybody? Today I want to do a video on guard breaking. I had a couple email requests from subscribers asking about how to break closed guards, in particular for people who are being stubborn and difficult. So I'll show a few variations that I like from there. So the first one that I actually use the most, the other ones I'm going to show, I almost really never use them, to be honest. The one that I do the most is the one that everyone's going to flame the video saying I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about and you're just going to get triangled and all, whatever other hateful comments I'll get. But the one that works the most for me is reaching back, and this is particularly, if a guy has a stubborn guard, he's got a stubborn guard a lot of times, but a guy that you've tried log splitting and you're doing all this stuff and nothing's working. For me, I still sit back and I reach back and open the legs up. And the way I do it is I just go from a closed guard, I sit really far back, I keep my left hand close to my chest, I reach back here, and then peel. I've never been triangle doing this. Now I understand if you say, if I'm here and I reach back, triangles all day. I get it. If I'm in the gi and I'm careless with my lapels here and I'm still a little too far forward and my left hand is a little too far forward and I reach back, I agree. He's going to pull me down, the left leg's going to come up, and I'm going to get triangled. But if I'm here, and I reach back and do this, man, he's got a long road to hoe before he can triangle me from there. And if I do sit back, again, look how far back I'm sitting. I'm going past the knees to here. And then if I do this, and he sits up to threaten the triangle, or throw this leg, even from here, he almost has to open his guard to sit up from here. So by now I'm really pressing on the knee and I'm opening up from here anyway. This has been my 100% bulletproof. I know it's funny because it's the one thing everyone, at day one of jiu-jitsu, they say don't reach back in the guard. True, but it's all about how you reach back in the guard. So again, I'm just here, back, reach, pull. Once I'm here, obviously, you start working your passing game. That's the one that's bulletproof for me, especially against guys that are super difficult. Now I'll talk a little bit about some of the other things you might try and what to be careful about if you do. A lot of guys like standing up in the guard. I sort of never stand up in the guard, unless it's MMA. If it's MMA, I might stand up in the guard. But if it's jiu-jitsu and I come on the biceps and I go here, I don't ever like doing this because at some point I'm going to have to let go of the biceps. And most jiu-jitsu guys will sweep me from here. They'll grab and they'll sweep. If they're adept at leg locks, there's many, many leg locks from there. So I sort of tend not to do that. If you do it though, for sure start with bicep control, as opposed to coming here and then going, because now you're just giving him the sweep. So if you do that, come here and then post up here. Now once you're here, most people will usually go into like a Mr. Olympia pose, where the left leg comes under the butt and they'll drop out like this, which is a very effective way of splitting. It's log splitting. And that little Mr. Olympia pose, depending on what way you're doing it, one way or another, you're almost always going to be pressing, leg in the middle, and then here, and just creating this. But again, some guys are just stronger than you, and they'll lock that up, and I'll go here, and they'll simply ride up the hips. And it's like, shit, man. Go back, resettle, come back, peel from here. If they have a very low guard, closed guard, you can go a little higher even. Relax your leg. Like you had it. Yeah. If you can get it to here, post on the ground. Again, you're never supposed to touch the floor from the guard. I know. Come here and catch here. And then sit back and drive this down for the tap. I call that a butterfly submission. There's another one I'm not particularly good at, but I'll show you a little bit from a little bit of an angle. I think Dean Lister does this. I saw a video on this a long time ago. Again, I'm not great at it, but I'll show you the principle of it. I believe it's pressure here on the abdomen, right knee in the middle. Again, you might just log split here and come back. Most guys, this works fine, right? And then you're here, and you work your game. Other times, you might come here, knee up the middle. This comes up, and then I'm going to bring this knee in towards the belly button. And while I'm bringing this in, this leg's going to come out, and I push this knee. Okay? So it's 1, 2, 3. Remember, this is coming into the navel here, like this. This is particularly nice because you can keep coming for your pass, right? So again on that one. Pressure, knee, post, change your grip here, knee turns into the navel, boom, to here. That's a really nice one. If I had to recommend another good one, that would be it. So just in closing real quick, the variations would be sitting back, past the knees. See, even this stretches them a bit. Just coming here. There's really no threat for me here. There's no arm bar, there's really no triangle. So that's 1. 2 is just simple. I'm either going to be here or on the biceps, put something up the middle. Here, here. 3 might be that one. Again, I don't know if it's Dean or not, but for some reason that's what's in my head. Here, middle, post, switch, rotate in, and then come over. Okay? Good stuff. Guard breaking is difficult, you know, it's something you learn in the beginning, but there's nothing basic about it. It's, you know, at every belt level, it's still difficult. As a white belt, it's difficult to break guards. As a black belt, it's difficult to break guards. You know, sometimes you'll get to where like, oh, I'm pretty good at Jitsu, and then you'll just meet a blue belt who's got a motherfucker of a guard, and you can't get out. The other thing to think about too, I just want to put in people's heads is, in sport jiu-jitsu, it's a bit of a problem, but you know, in the real world, if someone is only content to lock everything up and stall out from a guard, at least the good news is you're really not in that much danger. You know, if someone's literally just stalling, which happens a lot, they've got 2 points, they know there's 60 seconds on the clock, and they're holding, right? That's when you gotta get real aggressive. Try sitting back, reaching back, whatever you gotta do to break that guard so you can get your pass, get your points, or fall into a leg lock or whatever. But the good news is if someone's very determined to maintain guard, most times they're not very threatening from there, although they're threatening with the clock. Okay? That's it for today. Peace!